Yeah.
In the original airing.
There you go.
Hey, man, these drop culture boys know what they're doing.
Boy, them drop culture boys are in a heap of trouble, thicker than molasses.
Wonder how they're going to get out of this one.
Tune in after the commercial break.
Tune in later. For the
I wish we
stand.
had a sponsor.
Well, I keep turning them down because they're all like fucking weird porn shops and shit.
Why not?
Well, they said they would pay us a lot of money, but we would have to wear the butt plugs on air, and I was like, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
Mitch was like all for it, and I said, Mitch, we can't get just a third of the money. That's not how it works. It's got to be all or nothing.
All or nothing. Mitch is.
And I even offered to carry one of your guys' cost, and all you had to do is have one of you guys chip in.
And yeah,
no.
Unfortunately.
Well, we all know your butthole's big enough.
Whoa.
Hey, that's why I got the XL.
That's crossing some lines right there.
The butthole talk.
Welcome back. Dropped Culture presents The Stand, Part 4. If you are hearing this, the pandemic has taken over the radio waves and we should be safe for another day. Anyway, let's start the show.
I mean, they go really up. Trash can at the same time ends up in the nuclear facility that's like fucking longer than Godzilla's dick.
The big bomb.
I mean, it's huge. I mean,
what's he say? The big fire or something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, he's going through this complex on his fucking four-wheeler, you know? I mean, it's just fucking cruising like bum to bum. And he's taking the elevator in the motherfucker and like gets one of the biggest fucking nuclear bombs. He probably grabbed the biggest megaton warhead.
Oh, that he could find for sure, because that's his gig.
Yeah. I mean, it's the fire.
Then drives through the desert with it to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And we'll get back to that in just a minute, because then obviously we're going to find that he doesn't understand things about nuclear shielding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, so now they're bringing Larry and Ralph out to the streets, to the screets.
The screets.
They bring him in the back. Ratman's back there with them.
Are they in a fucking horse-drawn paddy wagon?
I thought they were in like a paddy wagon, but not necessarily a horse-drawn.
Yeah. It was like a paddy wagon from 1817. You know what I mean? So yeah, they come out and they put them on display because they wanted to make a display. They wanted everybody to see.
Yeah, so they got them kind of strung up there in those, you know, like not quite crucified really, but
they're kind of like the scarecrows from Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're kind of X'd out and they're kind of just on display with the horseshoes. So because Flagg wants to make this big deal out of killing these guys,
right?
And he talks about drawing and quartering them, ripping them in half, you know, because he said by his power. And he's like, what power do you have? Yep. Whose power? And he's like, mine, you know.
Yep.
He's like trying to be cool, too. He's like trying to be a rock star. And everybody's like, dude, you're weird. You know, it's the mullet and the denim, the Canadian tuxedo. So, I mean, he really does kind of he's losing it in front of everybody. Home dude that was going to go to South America didn't leave for some reason.
Yeah, well, I don't think there was enough time.
Yeah,
this all happens pretty quick. I think,
it must have been in the afternoon, you know.
Earlier this afternoon we were talking about this, but let's go see the torture and death.
Yeah, so let's go up there. And, you know, that's whenever, you know, home dude comes up and he's like, hey, stop this. This is a joke. We shouldn't follow this guy. Everything he said is wrong. You know, repent, basically. Somebody's sitting right there. And then he shoots him with like a fucking bolt of plasma.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck it was and like kills him, right? And
yeah,
then,
just the guy that's just part of the crowd.
Yeah. And like fucking liquefies him or turns him into a pod person. And so, you know, I mean, they're ready. They know what's going to happen.
Right.
And they're kind of looking at each other like, you know what, man, this is the it. This is the end. Not this is the it. Mm-hmm. This is the it. And so they basically are like waiting for it. And then the
that's how those two books tie in.
Yeah. So then everything parts. the whole thing fucking parts out. And his trash can with his fucking goggles glued to his face, the sunburn like he had at the very first part. He's always been fucked up the whole time.
But now he's a little further because he's got this, obviously got this nuclear poisoning,
Correct.
radiation poisoning.
It was so gross. Like, I mean, he pulls off his fucking goggles and his skin's coming with it and shit.
Yeah.
And then fucking, the crazy chick freaks out and is like, it's a bomb! Trips over the other dude and turns into another plasma demon.
Yeah.
And, they're like, all right, let's go. And that's whenever Flagg is like, he's there. This is the only shot that God has, I guess. That's when the hand of God comes down.
Right.
So
and basically it takes that energy and moves it over to the nuclear bomb. And that's when we have the explosion.
yeah, but like you said in the book, it's like everybody sees something different.
Well, so the spectral hand of God is not necessarily, maybe the illusion's made there, but it's not said.
Yeah.
Everybody sees their own thing. And I don't think so in the miniseries. I don't remember showing this, but really I think Flagg gets away. They show him like as like a monster.
Yeah, he
running
turns
away.
Yeah, he's trying to fly away as a bird.
In this,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, he tries to fly away as the bird, but got him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But see, because at this point too, the fate of Stu is about, he's almost
about
at the
to
top.
die.
He was almost going to die. He had desperation, and there's Tom Cullen.
Yep.
Tom Cullen is right there. But what's the crazy part is you always almost kind of think that Tom Cullen and Stu have been like the best of friends the whole time.
I feel that way with Tom Cullen and anybody that he's
Yeah.
close to, because
Yeah.
that's like the only people he's ever been close to, it seems like. You know what I mean?
So they're sitting on the top of that side on that bridge, and that's when the bomb goes off.
Right.
And they see it from where they're at.
Well,
So,
and Stu got the flu really bad. Nick came to Tom in his dream, and, he can talk in his dreams and tells
Correct.
him what medicine to get.
tells him which way to go
Yeah.
because he was almost there, so he headed back
Right.
to get Stu. So
Well, I mean, even to go, like, once he was sick and they took him to that cabin, he goes out and gets the medicine that he needs, and that's the
Right.
only way he knows.
Right,
His
right.
Nick tells him.
yeah, because they got to drive somewhere. They got to get somewhere so he can get well. And
Right.
his leg's all fucked up. He's got to pop the clutch on something, to get going.
Right.
That's the only way to do
On
it.
the way back to the boulder free zone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So but of course winter's coming because it's, by the time they get there, the snow's moving in.
Well,
and shit.
and nicely enough, they pick up that truck with that snowcat in the back of it.
Yeah. And they hop on the snowcat.
As you would.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, they plan for it, so, so they knew
they're in
that-
the right area where there would be snowcats,
Yeah.
so that does make sense.
and whatever pass they were taking was manned by Stephen King.
Yeah. Well, and Stephen King, fan of snowcats.
Yes.
If you've ever seen,
Any of his movies.
yes.
Yeah. He likes the
Specifically
snowcats.
The Shining in this movie.
Mitch, are you still there?
See, I am.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard you in a while.
Yeah.
But,
To be honest,
what?
like I haven't really, with the lag of everything, just like this, it takes a second to kind of get me to say something because I'm on Skype. So I'm just like, you guys are on a roll. I'm listening. It's great.
Well, okay. So, they get across because Tom basically saves Stu's life.
Absolutely.
Cause of course, home dude, Nick comes to him, right? And you get to see that. And then he takes him to, I guess, the pharmacy to pick up some pills and stuff. And he's like, how did you know to get these? He's like, it was Nick. So he's trying to feed him peanut butter and jelly at that point. And he's just like, man, don't leave me alone. It's sad too. I mean, Tom Cullen is just like a tortured, sad character.
He is.
You really feel for him, but he's such a good character,
Right.
Believable, played by this guy. And so,
Patrick Starr.
yeah, Patrick Starr. So they end up getting back home, and he's like, "Oh man, I can't wait to see Franny." He's like, "You didn't hear?" Well, of course I didn't fucking hear.
Stephen King's character
Yeah,
says that, right?
yeah, of course.
Well,
I got some news for you. She had the baby early. I'm like, "Oh man, shit!" So they rush to the hospital,
and of course, the whole time, like, she's been concerned that because it's, the father of the baby was not immune to the disease, to
Right.
Captain Trips, that it's possible that the baby could have it, which we find out
the baby did.
the baby did have it.
Yeah, the baby did get it at the very beginning, but since Fran's antibodies were in there too, it kind of
Yeah.
and it was a premature like a month or something like that. I was wrong in the first couple of episodes. Sorry, guys. But, yeah, so she has the baby. Stu's there. Everybody's there. It's kind of like one of those,
we find out Lucy is pregnant with Larry's child.
Right. And they name Stu's, Stu and Gums, baby, Molly Gumswald. They named that baby Abigail, right?
Yes, after Mother Abigail.
And then Mother Abigail's looking from on high, and she's like, I wonder if I'm going to teach her to make bread. It's kind of like that picture-in-picture moment. Yep. And there we go.
And that is the end.
That is the end of The Stand. So they still got back into what they were doing, but they wiped out the bad guys. Good always wins.
But did they wipe out the bad guys?
Maybe. Just wait till wait till episode 4. But yeah.
So overall, what are your thoughts on this? I know that you and I have seen this a lot of times. So Mitch, I'm going to ask you.
Mitch,
give us your review, I guess.
Oof. It set the bar so high and so good at the beginning of this. Part 1 I'm talking about too. I'm talking about the whole thing. Part 1 was absolutely involved, riveting, got me into it. Part 2 went to a Lifetime movie with the weird mix of John Carpenter. Super weird. And then Part 3 started getting back into it a little bit. And then Part 4, of course, kind of like picked it up a bit and kind of anybody who likes resolve, anybody likes an ending to something, good or bad, you accept it. Luckily it was good, but at the same time, sometimes it's bad in different movies. I liked it overall. Would I watch this anytime soon? No. And no offense to it either. It's just, what is it, 6 hours?
It's an hour and a half per episode.
So
6.
Yeah, it's like 6 hours long, and it is a bit to get through in some points. It's worth watching all the way through once, at least 100%.
Yeah.
But after that, pick and choose like clips off of YouTube that you like. I don't know. It doesn't have a lot of replay value for me.
Oh, yeah. Well, to me, I've been watching it since it came out pretty much. As soon as it hit VHS, that's when I was watching it, So, I mean, it's always been there, and I've always set through it. And if I start on it, I got to finish it. I can't just like stop in the middle of it and be like, a couple of months, I'll pick it up. No, I got to keep going, because I mean, it's a whole story. It's just really, if I had the fortitude to read the fucking book, it would probably be a lot better. But this is the only version of The Stand that I know is the TV.
The book is good. Like I said, it's a lot rougher. It's definitely a lot more macabre in spots. It's a little, like looking back, it's a little stereotypes a lot. Maybe a little bit racist. Seriously. As I was going back through, especially after watching these, I was reading some things and I started reading some excerpts. And I was like, yeah, maybe, and again, I read it so long ago, high school probably. Yeah. Was the last time that I read it. So I don't really remember those parts of it as much. I do remember it being much darker. Even though there are some pretty dark spots in this adaptation. Yeah. But what's really cool is we're about to get a new stand.
Yeah, I know.
Not a new stand. A new
version of The Stand.
Adaptation of The Stand.
Which is perfectly relevant right now.
What?
If they might put a hold on it just because of this.
They were filming it when this started.
Yeah.
So I say just keep filming. It should be perfect. There's nobody outside.
I know, right? All they need is like a fucking one camera and a couple of actors, right? A couple of masks,
Two turntables and a microphone.
That's right.
That's where it's at.
A used car lot. But yeah, to me overall, I've always enjoyed this film. I like epics like this, and this is kind of one of the only epics that we got. you know, in our generation. I would really say like Ben-Hur-esque epic, you know, Ten Commandments epic. This is it. You know, if it was made for the big screen in a 4-part, which they never would have taken the chance on that.
Right.
Back in the day. Never. But if they would have, this would have been, you know, the biggest fucking thing since sliced bread, man. It would have been awesome to really dig into it and get the fucking film correct and cause 16 millimeter film shot in a 4:9 aspect ratio sucks.
Right.
You don't have that cinematic feel. And this is before they really kind of went, you know, more digital with everything. Shit, if they would have had a digital camera back then, they do now, fucking outrageous.
I just hope that whatever they're doing with the new one, that they keep the, like, I really thought they nailed some of the castings in this. Some of them I can't see being much better. Specifically, Gary Sinise as Stu.
Yeah.
I thought he was the perfect Stu. Patrick Starr did a great job. I only say that because I can't say that guy's last name for nothing. It's Bill Fagerbaki or something like that.
I can never say it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's right. Lloyd, Miguel Ferrer.
And Miguel Ferrer's passed on now.
Yeah. And I also, the other piece I liked about this is you were talking earlier, there's a shit ton of directors in this movie, just in little bit parts.
Yeah.
John Landis, which you mentioned early, Tom Holland.
He's the guy
Sam Raimi. So just 3 right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And then of course, even some of those smaller little bit pieces where we get to see like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
As the you know, the end is nigh guy. Yeah. So I hope they do that kind of a thing with it.
You know, at this point too, I mean, Kareem was still young. He's still pretty tall.
I'm not saying they have to have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm just saying that I like that they have all these.
They had relevant cameos, relevant people in this, and this was kind of before a lot of the cameos like this were done in anything. Now you have a cameo, it's almost expected.
Well, and what's really neat about this, like one of the main characters, Randall Flagg, like we spoke about at the beginning of all this, he really did nothing.
No.
But he owned this role, and it was mixed in like when you think about your list of stars, when Rob Lowe is like the 5th or 6th guy on that, you know what I mean?
Roster? Yeah, it's
that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it's not that everybody went on to do other things, but some of those people were huge before that, like Ossie Davis, Ruby Dee.
The biggest out of all of them, of course, was Molly Gumswold.
I don't know. I think Ruby Dee was probably a bigger.
She's a better talent, but I would say that
as far as like superstardom,
yes,
that's probably
a member
true.
of the Brat Pack in this movie. Right after, you know,
I would say even Rob Lowe maybe would be part of
both
that.
of them.
Weren't they both part of the Rat Pack.
Yeah, I would say both of them were the most prolific actors. Of course, Rob Lowe has gone on to do way more things than anybody else, but at the same time, this was a transitional period into more serious acting for a lot of them. Of course, Gary Sinise had always been acting serious for a long time. You know, did a lot of good things. He was mainly stage, I think, at that point. But then you bring in these people, the supporting cast was perfect in their roles. You know, there was not, who would you take out of this movie if you had a chance to?
Molly Ringwald.
Okay.
Oh, did you want me to think about that more?
Yes.
Hold on.
Mitch, who would you take out?
Molly Ringwald. Okay, go ahead,
I would
Mitch.
take out Moon, Patrick Starr.
Why would you take him out?
I could not stand his character in this movie. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
No, that's cool. I thought he did an amazing job on it, but that's my opinion. But
I don't think he did bad. It was just something about it didn't it didn't sell it for me. I don't know. Like, he did good too, which is like the really confusing part. I still don't understand exactly why I don't like it. But he didn't sell it to me.
At this point in television history, there had only been at least maybe one other prolific, mentally challenged person on television.
Is that the My So-Called Life?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No, there's a guy on LA Law. He actually ended up being Durant in the Darkman movies. He was a bad guy.
Yeah.
He was
I never watched LA Law.
What was crazy is like the first time I saw him act on one of those shows, I did get emotional. It was crazy. It was weird. I was young.
So he, like in real life, is mentally challenged?
No.
No, he was
No,
acting
he was
as a
playing
mentor.
that
Okay,
character.
cool.
So we haven't really seen a lot of characters at that point.
Well,
and
you
yeah,
can jump back to like Gary Sinise's of Mice and Men. Right?
yeah, but that was on a movie.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly,
trying to think of stuff that would have been in the zeitgeist. at
Yeah,
that time.
there hasn't been a lot of major characters at that point
Right.
that were, had some sort of mental instability or mental challenges. And Tom Cullen was one of the first big ones that they had on there.
I thought he walked a really good line with that. Like he didn't go too far.
Yeah, he wasn't stupid like drooling and stuff.
Yeah.
He actually
Yeah.
did it in a perfect sense.
Tropic Thunder is what came to mind, when you go too far.
Yeah,
Right.
And he did not go too far either. It was like, I don't know if it was like because I already know him as Patrick Star and I already know this character so well.
Yeah.
Knowing
So
from Coach.
seeing him play this, and I was just like trying to buy it, but he wasn't selling it to me for some reason. Like it didn't seem real.
That's
I
fair.
totally understand, man. Totally understand. Yeah.
And like if it felt real, that would be different. But I wonder if it was because it hasn't really been done. He was like vetting into something that he didn't even know he was going to be vetted into.
Right.
But yeah, like it's very difficult to do that when you have nothing to go off of and you're one of the first to do it. So for that kind of thing, I think he killed it. And I do think he did great. It's just nowadays I think they've perfected what that's like and a little bit better. And I don't know, there was something I just wish I could pinpoint it better.
Yeah. No. Completely understand. I mean, there's just certain characters that most people are just like, and there's some people that are like, oh my God, that was like the best thing ever. But
And I hate being on the opposite end of that where I love the person. So I feel for you and I'm sorry.
No. There's nothing wrong with it. As far as like who I would take out of it, shit, man.
Molly Ringwald.
No, I wouldn't take Molly Ringwald out. I'd take out Parker Lewis.
Would you take out her gums?
No, I'd leave those. I'd actually make them bigger.
Oh, geez.
CGI them to where it looks like she's got little shark teeth.
They don't need any help, sir.
But I would take out Harold because, Parker Lewis, yeah, he could act on his show, probably can act. I didn't like his character, like you were saying, Mitch, kind of in that way. I was like, this dude is a douche dick.
So that is a little bit different from, like, they really, really scaled down his character to douchebag from the book.
Okay.
So in the book, there's more to him. He's a little more of a character.
They made him completely unlikable. When they introduced him into the movie, he was more of that's the lovable nerd.
He's kind of the butt of the jokes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, he's the dude at the roller rink that, people were like tripping and shit. You know what I mean? So I mean, his character was the only one that I was just like, ugh, I could do without. He was such a dick to Nadine too. Yeah. He's like, you look yummy. And I said that like 3 or 4 times, but I mean, that's what he did.
Yeah.
It's fucking creepy.
You guys have heard of a, what do they call it? A fedora wearing neckbeard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was like the ultimate version of that before it was a thing.
Yeah.
Don't they
Because he
call
was like, I held the door for her and she doesn't want to sleep with me. What the fuck?
Yeah, they call him incels.
Yes.
Yeah,
they do.
he's
You're
a
right.
total incel.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I love you. I wrote a poem for you."
Scratch everything I said. I don't know why, but I hate that character so much. So Patrick Starr's in, that guy's out.
I still like him better than I like Molly Ringwald.
Nah, Molly Ringwald, she just
'Cause
doesn't
I
have
like the
dramatic
character.
acting chops. Yeah,
So don't get me wrong. I like the character. I just think that I keep calling him Parker Lewis Can't Lose, but whatever, Corin Nimick or whatever his name really is. One, probably maybe not a very good actor. But I also don't think he was given a lot to work with. Like I said, it's very much a shell of the character that's in the book.
yeah.
Where Molly Ringwald's character, I don't think changed much. I mean,
She didn't grow.
There was more.
She
in the
was
book,
selfish
obviously.
the whole time. She really did not.
I think that's what Molly Ringwald brings to any kind of movie. Selfish, terrible, lots of gums.
Ringwald did not have the acting chops for that dramatic role.
No.
It was just obvious. I hate to say it, but she was Breakfast Club galore. Great. That teen kind of like I'm in a high school vibe.
16
cool.
Candles. Yeah.
But for this super serious role, I really feel like this was one of the times that Hollywood grabbed somebody just because of the influence or
Because of the name.
the popularity of somebody rather
Right.
than the actual talent,
Yeah.
which actually happens all the time. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, The Rock. I'm looking at you.
Well, The Rock is actually really
I'm just
good,
kidding.
Wait,
I like him.
The Rock or the movie The Rock?
No, I'm not going to talk
Dwayne
shit about
Johnson?
the movie. Yeah, Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk
Johnson.
shit on The Rock. The Rock movie is awesome.
It is good.
Nicolas Cage.
And
Thank
the
you.
Rock actor is
Sean
awesome.
Connery.
Yeah.
Sean Connery.
And I like The Rock as well.
Yeah.
I just don't think he needs to be in every movie.
Yeah.
No.
Skyscraper 14.
Skyscraper shouldn't have even
Cliffhanger.
been a movie.
Cliffhanger
You know what?
with
If
buildings.
somebody offers me millions, I'll take it.
Yeah,
It's
right.
Die Hard with Cliffhanger mixed in.
Yeah, it really is.
So overall, my 100% impression on this movie is I'm glad we did it at this time because it really does make sense.
Yeah, it kind of syncs up with what's going on in the real world.
Yeah. Now we're back to kind of normal, somewhat semblance of normalcy, which is going to
Move
change.
into a safer at home phase of our
They change.
3-part phase into normalcy that will
Yeah.
never be normal again, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think
to
it's
some
too
degree.
soon myself. I really think that they should keep everything going for a little while longer, but
I don't disagree, but I understand there's got to be a balance there.
Yeah.
I think that they would be smart to do it in smaller phases, I think.
yeah.
But
And-
what do I know?
Yeah, exactly. It's not, I mean, in a month's time, I mean, our numbers, are nowhere near the stands numbers, but they're pretty fucking high.
Well, at least
You
they're
know.
not the stands numbers.
Yes, exactly.
because there'd be
That's everybody.
85,000 people left in the world, I think. Isn't that
Yeah.
what we figured out the other day?
Something like that. Yeah.
In the whole world.
I mean, I'm just saying, if
There-
we actually had Molly Ringwald on our podcast, we'd probably have a lot more viewers too.
Probably. If we had Molly Ringwald.
still be a shittier podcast.
It would be much worse, thus not having her. She's
By the way-
actually asked many times to come on. We
I
said
know.
no.
I just hope that we can still get some of her friends on the show because
Yeah.
I do like some of them.
Yeah, I would like to have Long
yeah.
Duck
And it's
Dong
not
on
that
here.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not that I hate Molly Ringwald. She can come on if she can leave her gums at home. That would be
Oh.
perfect.
Oh my God! Nay, I say. Nay, I say.
You're closing doors on us here, Mitch. I mean-
I'm not helping.
Or
you.
not Midge, but
Yeah,
Dan.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
Closing stalls on us.
yeah, closing stalls on us because I mean, Molly Ringwald is a gateway to Hollywood for podcasts. Come
Guess
on.
we're not gonna make it, guys.
Well,
All
might as well
I have
hang them
been
up.
Doing, hey! All I have been doing is supporting her.
Yeah, I mean, it's true because he feeds her carrots at least once a day.
At least she can count to 4 with apples.
And then
And then the girl from Sex and the City shows up and she's like, "Did you guys call?"
yes.
Yeah, Sarah Jessica Horker.
So I just figured this out. We're gonna have to make. All right, Sarah Jessica Parker,
Uh
Molly Ringwald
huh.
in a My Little Pony movie.
No.
Oh my God!
That's a great
As the
idea.
ponies, of course,
That's
yes.
great, but
Bronies.
I think that they need to be on the new Anheuser-Busch commercial whenever this all comes back
And
for
they're
the
just
Super
like
Bowl.
pulling the.
Yeah, they're the ones riding on the fucking Budweiser.
No, they're
You know.
pulling the Budweiser.
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
That makes
yeah,
more
that's right.
sense.
Yeah.
And it'll be Molly Rainwald.
I feel like some people are going to hate us for our Molly Ringwald hate. I don't have anything against
That's
her as a
okay.
person. And I do like her in some 80s movies.
I don't.
That she's, well, like I did like Breakfast Club, but
Yeah.
she was playing a teenager and she was a teenager. It was pretty easy.
Well, she was like 30 at that point.
Well, yeah, but mental capacity of a teenager. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
She was
So,
like 42 when she made that movie.
I thought she was 42 when she made this movie.
No, she was 74.
She was actually the oldest person on the movie.
Yeah, it was Ruby Dee, then her.
Ruby Dee's like, I'm sorry, miss.
Yeah, she's like, I showed up for the Mother Abigail role. They're like, you're too white. I mean, you're glowing.
Oh my
you're so white. But I'm glad we did this podcast because this is something that a lot of people do know about this one, and I know that the resurgence is going to come back as soon as
Sure.
they really do announce when they're going to release a new one. But I don't know where they're going to put the new one at. It might be an HBO thing.
I think it was Prime, right?
It might be. Yeah.
I can find out real quick
Yeah.
while we're talking.
But yeah, it should be epic, this new one. But again, I think this is our magnum opus of the time, for TV. Before it ended, this was no fucking Matlock special. This was better than Matlock. This was L.A. Law, Matlock, and Hill Street Blues all wrapped into one, and it culminated in 1994 with this movie. I mean, it really did fucking pick it up. I mean, and this is an anniversary for it, so I mean, it's 36 years old. It literally this month that you're listening to this. It actually did come out at the end of the school year, and that's how I kind of gauge life. That's whenever the school year was. And
this came out in 87?
No. No, it was like
94,
94, right? Yeah.
Yes, it was 94.
How old did you say it was?
36 years old.
Oh, man, that's long.
Isn't that 26?
26 years old. Yeah,
okay.
That's right.
Because math.
Yeah.
Friend of Brock.
Not a friend of me.
Not a friend of me.
I am fucking bad at math. Yeah, 1994. So 26 years. 26 fucking years. Jesus Christ. I get older and older every day. Wait a minute.
How does that work?
Jeez.
That's just crazy.
But, yeah, come on. I mean, this is going to be, this is going to kind of go down in history as one of those, I mean, that the poster is better than the actual movie itself. But this is, I mean, it was such a broad subject at the time and such a huge thing, and really getting into the way that gene therapy and viruses and everything before they clone Molly, the first sheep and shit, we turned a corner in the 90s at this point, because this is the year Kurt Cobain died too, right? 1994.
Yep, absolutely.
So, it was right before this came out then. Cause this originally aired what day?
So this is saying CBS is going to have the stand.
No way.
Yeah, I'm going to double check that.
No way. Thank God for CBS. They have like 3 shows that are good. Oh yeah, there's
Yeah, CBS.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe you. Obviously.
CBS All
Simon
Access.
Brock.
Ugh. It's on that shitty All Access deal. You'll have to fucking burp for it.
Burp for it.
That sucks. It's fucked up, man. And it's going to be on regular TV. Yeah. Stop.
I don't think it's going to be on. I don't know that it'll be on regular TV. It'll just be on their streaming app, I think, which is kind of like the Twilight Zone was.
Oh God, I heard that one wasn't very good either.
I think I watched one episode. I don't remember very well.
Yeah, not going to.
What is the other show they have? Star Trek Picard.
Picard. I downloaded the first episode, so I'm kind of waiting. I kind of want to watch it. Just
I know LeVar Burton's coming back onto it.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
LeVar.
Yeah.
Fucking
Butterfly
Geordie LaForge.
in the sky, I can fly twice as high.
This was originally aired May 8th. Are you shitting me that we did it on this right time? It's fucking crazy, dude.
Not on purpose.
No, not even on purpose. And this is, 26 years to almost to the fucking day. When is the 8th?
That would be next Thursday or something.
No shit. No shit. For real?
Yeah.
That's
From
not
this
playing,
recording.
people.
Because Monday is not this week coming up, but the following Monday is May 4th.
No
From
fucking
this
shit.
recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, from this recording.
From this recording.
So, people out there that you're listening to us kind of banner on right now, we did not fucking mean for that to happen, and
No,
we're
no
actually going to
plans.
release the first episode on May 8th. That's not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
So
this will be the second episode. Yeah.
But either way, I mean, it's fairly timely.
Yeah.
Without the idea for it to be fairly timely.
Jesus Christ, it's crazy.
Yeah.
In the original airing.
There you go.
Hey, man, these Drop Culture boys know what they're doing.
Boy, them drop culture boys are in a heap of trouble, thicker than molasses.
Wonder how they're going to get out of this one.
Tune in after the commercial break.
Tune in later for the
I wish we
stand.
had a sponsor.
Well, I keep turning them down because they're all like fucking weird porn shops and shit.
Why not?
Well, they said they would pay us a lot of money, but we would have to wear the butt plugs on air, and I was
nope.
like, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
Mitch was like all for it, and I said, Mitch, we can't get just a third of the money. That's not how it works. It's got to be all or nothing.
All or nothing. Mitch's
And I even offered to carry one of your guys' cost, and all you had to do is have one of you guys chip in.
And yeah,
No.
unfortunately.
Well, we all know your butthole's big enough.
Whoa.
Hey, that's why I got the XL.
That's crossing some
Here I
lines
am.
right there.
The butthole talk. Okay, so I think we have reached the end of the stand. Now I'm about to take my stand.
I'm about to take a seat.
Yeah, I've been sitting down this whole time. So, tune in next week. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, we got a shitload of stuff coming up, but I hope you enjoyed listening to The Stand Part 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Or however many there were.
Yeah,
We don't know that
We
yet.
don't know
Yeah.
what's going to come out.
So you might want to just know, Mitch, that's right around a minute and 30 or an hour and 30 minutes.
yeah, so stay tuned.
Right around there if you want to write that down.
Stay tuned to the Drop Culture Podcast because we suck at ending our episodes. And I'm going to just throw that out there that we should end it right now.
Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed doing this episode or these episodes. I would give this, honestly, probably 7 out of 10 plagues.
Yes.
If I had to, I had to rank it.
I would put it at
Pandemics.
an 8.5 out of 10.
8.5?
Yeah, 8.5 out of 10, just for sheer volume,
Okay.
of plague victims.
I'm going with
and-
7.
Yeah.
7 seems
I'm
like
gonna
a
kind of put it
fair
up
number.
there.
What about you, Mitch?
I would probably give it a solid 3 out of 5 schmeckles.
3 so if we put that up to our regular average, that's 6 out of 10.
Ooh.
So yeah, I feel
That's
like we're
pretty good.
kind of living right around that 7.25 area.
It's a pretty good number. Yeah.
About what dropped culture sits around, yeah.
Yeah. That's how we do.
So hit us up on them socials. Hit us up on dropculture.com. Hit us up on Facebook at Drop Culture Podcast. Just look for Drop Culture Podcast. We're out there. We're on all your favorite streaming apps. And
Big one, Elizabeth.
I know it only took one episode from the 100th episode for me to get that right. So, stay tuned. Got a lot more in store.
Yeah. What he said. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Buy war bonds.